Hey guys, welcome back. Thanks for joining me for another video. This week I want to talk about mommy issues. So I feel like we've talked about daddy issues on this channel and we've picked on the ladies enough. So let's start talking about these mama issues that these men have. And just for the record, this video is for everyone, even though majority of my audience are women that do follow me. And so if you are heterosexual, you want to know if your man has daddy issues 100%, but you could definitely be a female with mommy issues. Yes, and you could definitely be a man with daddy issues, 100%. So let's talk about the mommy issue. So the bottom line with a mommy issue is that there is a lack of trust in that feminine energy, in that mother figure. This is mostly due because you didn't receive enough love, care, and attention. So you could have also not received enough love, care, and attention from your father. But when we think of mom and dad, because each gender will have, or each person leads with more energy than the other, we typically assume mom is going to be the feminine and she's going to be the caretaker, the love, the warm and fuzzy, the give me cuddles, soothe me, all that nurturing, emotional, feminine stuff. And dad's gonna probably be a little bit more logical, but both have to play both roles. And if one plays one role over the other continuously, then you're going to form some kind of a wound with that parent. So if dad is so logical and not emotional and he never gives you a hug and a kiss, never tells you that he loves you, you're going to form a wound there. If mom is too in her masculine, always working, always on the go, too independent, but never settles in and gives you that affection, that affirmation, she doesn't know how to soothe you, she feels really uncomfortable with physical touch, things like that, you're going to form a wound with mom. So there'll start to be a little bit of a trust issue between him and women in general. So, and this is where the wound really starts. Now, just like with women with a daddy issue, if you have that trust issue, you could grow up and have avoidant attachment style, right? Where we just avoid intimacy altogether. The thought of a relationship and getting close and vulnerability just scares us completely. Or you could be the opposite. You could be someone that's very needy in a relationship. You could be a woman that is a little bit more promiscuous and out there with herself because she thinks that that's what's going to give her love, or consistent real love is by behaving in that way. And just like with a man, he might be overly needy, overly invested in a relationship way too soon, because he has an anxious attachment style. He's essentially trying to heal that wound through you. Now, with all wounds, whether it is the mommy wound or the daddy wound, if the wound is completely unknown and the person is unaware that, yeah, dad pieced out, or yep, mom never gave me any hugs and she didn't show up to any of my stuff and she worked all the time and she never told me that she loved me. Like, you just didn't feel that sense of connection with mom. You're going to have a wound. And if you're unaware of it, then you're going to go out into the world searching for partners based on that wound. So you're either going to try to avoid that wound, or you're going to dive right into dysfunctional relationships in hopes to actually get filled up so that wound will be, quote, healed. You could perhaps be with someone who maybe grew up with a mother that was loving and kind and gentle, but really, really enabled the child. And now we're talking more about a mama's boy. And we're talking about a mama's boy in a very unhealthy way. And I think both things, whether you're daddy's little princess or a mama's boy, it can be a negative or it can be something that's healthy. It's all about balance and boundaries. But for someone who is a mama's boy and it is unhealthy, it is that relationship with the mother that was put either on such a pedestal that no one else can ever live up to, or it is the mother that completely enabled bad behavior. Now, the problem with the mama's boy is the enabling. Really and truly, it's the enabling and the looking at mom and putting mom on such a pedestal that no woman can ever even come close to that. And I think the reality is as you get older, you understand that the way your parents look at you is not the way anyone else is going to look at you. The way you love your children or the way you will love your future children is never going to even come close to the type of love that your romantic partner will feel for you, because a parent will maybe let things slide, whereas a romantic partner doesn't have to. And it's just a different relationship. And so a mama's boy really has an unhealthy idea of how a woman should view him. And usually when this happens, we tend to go more into the man turning more into a narcissist, whether she put him on a pedestal or whether she was just completely enabling and possibly neglectful in general. So it doesn't have to be extremes. It doesn't have to be mom was either neglectful or she overindulged me or she was nowhere to be found. It could be like a lovely little dysfunctional cocktail of a bunch of different things. You could have a mother that definitely said, I love you, but you didn't feel that real sense, that emotional connection with her. It just really wasn't there. And maybe perhaps you really, really craved it and didn't hold you to the standard that you made your bed and now you have to lie in it. A lot of men will have a mommy issue also with mothers that really were healthy for the most part, but were just given circumstances that were probably a little bit out of your control. So if you're dealing with you're a mom to 3 boys and you have to work full time and the kids are in daycare a lot and you're just trying to make ends meet and you're doing it all on your own. In this day and age, because divorce is what it is, it makes it even harder to parent because there's always one parent doing it. And sometimes even in the marriages where divorce isn't a thing, there are 2 people in a household that are working. And women sometimes are expected to be a partial breadwinner and also still the mother that's devoted and always attending to the family and the children. And it's very hard to balance everything. And it's not the woman's fault, it's just society in general. So learning how to have a healthy relationship, share responsibilities, et cetera, is hopefully where we're going in this day and age. But it is still a very crucial thing that the mother be present for her children. And if she's not, and if she has her own wounds and she's not able to emotionally attach to her children, or she enables because she's narcissistic herself, unfortunately, the mother wound will just continue to be a thing. I hope you have enjoyed this video. I hope it gave you some insight on this mommy issue. Again, you could be a woman with a mother issue, 100%. You could be a boy with a daddy issue, 1,000%. But I think the key thing here is to understand is what were you supposed to get from mom? How is it supposed to look? And the things that you didn't get, are you as the adult now giving them to yourself? It's one of the biggest things that I talk about on this channel, in my practice and in my programs, is learning how to parent yourself. If you are interested in my new self-parenting course, I will actually link it up here or down below for you to check out. It is essentially mental health, and it's what we were supposed to learn growing up that unfortunately most of us didn't learn. So if you're ready to learn it, by all means, go check it out. And I hope you enjoy your week. Take care.